Howdy y'all, it's Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns in beautiful and getting ready to rain Atlanta, Georgia. Today is June the 10th, 2022, and on today's video it's going to be a little bit different. It is related to kind of lawn care, but if you've got either a mow and go system or a ramp rack, or you carry a lot of weight in the bed of your pickup truck, you may find that your stock suspension is not quite up to the task. So the problem that I'm having is this is the 89 Chevy K1500. It's a short bed, and let me show you something here. It used to be that the truck was level. Now it's got a full tank of gas and it's got the mow and go system on, and from the ground to the bottom of the wheel well it's 35 1/8, and on the front it's right at 37. Now this used to be perfectly level before I had the 250-pound rack on the back. Anytime you put obviously weight in there, you're going to change your suspension geometry slightly. So what I believe it was about 36 inches or so without that. So what I need to do is I want to show you guys how much this squats when I put the mower on. You're going to be amazed at the distance, and what this does is it produces some weird handling dynamics because the front end's coming off the ground. There's more pressure on the rear tires than on the front, and it messes up the steering just a little bit. So let me show you what happens when I put with the blower and the mower, I'm looking at about 800 pounds. All right, so I'm going to put the mower in the back, and then we'll remeasure the tire. Okay, so now we are looking at 33 1/8 on the back. And 37 1/4 on the front. So that is, that's unacceptable. Look how high the front end is. Okay. You can kind of get a gamut. Not good. All right, so now that we know our baselines, let's get these springs installed and see if it changes. Check this. Alright, so you can actually do this without taking the wheel off. The reason I'm going to do it this way is because don't work. That's it. So let's get it. Here we go. Let's see what this thing can do. Oh yeah. No problem. This is what runs free. You can do it somewhere. All right, so I had to borrow a 21mm socket from my neighbor. I didn't have a 21 long. Anyway, so this plate right here goes there, and then obviously the U-bolts are like that. So what we do is we take that U-bolt off, take that U-bolt off, take this plate off, and then put this helper spring like this. Now some of them, they have a long and a short side. This one doesn't. It's the same on both. And then I'm going to take the plate Put that back like that. Put this U-bolt back on. Put this U-bolt back on. Okay. And then we will take the U-bolts that Hellwig sent us and put them out. Let me go grab them and I'll show you what we're going to do. Goes like that. All right, so you're going to take this block, and I got 2 nuts and 2 washers. It's all right to be operator here from time to time. All right, there we go. There we go. Alright, so I'm just putting them on just enough to hold that, and then see if I can do this one in one shot. Okay, now that's what we got so far. Okay, got this on. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna clean this dirt out of this bracket, and then we'll reassemble the bracket. These nuts get torqued to 81 foot-pounds. Put it exactly back on the tube where it was. Tube being the rear differential here, the housing. How much dirt's in the thing? Wow, that's just going here. That's how easy that other one. All right, so factory U-bolts are torqued back down. I have adjusted this just hand tight. I guess this is where a little experimentation is going to come in. Let me put the wheels back on, and then we're supposed to put jack stands on the frame and let this droop and see if there's any slack here. All right, so this is the next day, and let me just very quickly tell you what I did to adjust these. I basically didn't have the second nut, lock nut on here, or jam nut, but I measured the distance from the bottom of the nut to the bottom of the U-joint, not the U-joint, the threads of the U-bolt, and made them equal back to front and then side to side. So they're pretty much all the exact same tension. Now, here's the problem, and this is my pet peeve. I was not very happy, and I even sent a nice note, but a note telling Hellwig that I did not appreciate having Chinese nuts and bolts in here. So I want to show you guys something. We've got two different wrenches here. For whatever reason, some of these flutes really hard to get on there, and some of them it's really easy. There's a couple of these nuts that I couldn't get either of these wrenches on. These are all 17, they're supposed to be 17 millimeter. There's 16 total nuts, and I would say almost half of them I had trouble getting either of these two wrenches. One's a gear wrench and one's a USA made Craftsman. And I thought there was something weird. I was having trouble threading a bunch of them on these U-bolts. There's nothing wrong with the threads at all. There's no damage. It's just sloppy machining. I mean, that's all it is. So I'm pretty sure that this hardware is Chinese made. This does not seem like it's American made. In fact, the whole kit probably is. You know, what isn't made in China? But at least, you know, Hellwig is a brand that has a lot of clout behind it as far as springs. And I would say that it is a bad move using this cheap hardware. It's just horrible. So anyway, I'm going to run this. I already ran it a little bit today. The suspension feels the same, unloaded as it did before. I'm going to drive it a little bit more this week and make sure the torque on the factory U-bolts is still 81, and then I'm going to report back. I think the height right now is about half an inch taller. I could put more tension on these. You can go all the way as far as that little end of the spring right here where the lowest point is. You can have that a minimum of a 1/4 inch. The tighter you make this, the more resistant the entire spring pack is to sagging. So yeah, it didn't seem to negatively affect the ride quality at all, but we'll see when it's under load. And yeah, so I'm glad I got the kit. I just this hardware, you know, this stuff, I don't even know what grade this stuff is, but yeah, not a good move on their part. We'll see if they respond back, and I'll let you guys know if they do respond back. But anyway, everything's on, nothing rattles, everything's nice and quiet. You really don't even know they're back there, other than there's about a ½ an inch higher ride height, and that's fine. So I will report back. Maybe I'll just delay. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and post the video. I'll do another video if I get any significant updates, either from Hellwig or from how this operates under load. But anyway, this was basically just to be an install video, and that's how you do it. It's very easy. If I wasn't filming, you could do this without removing the tire, and I'd probably say 30 minutes max. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, and I will talk to you on the next video.